Okay. Says I'm live. And I'm just gonna double check that I am in fact live. Here. Go to my channel. Have some there's it says I'm live. That mug. Alright. Cool. Well, I'm Gabriel, Swatcher DM. And I am today going to continue the work involved in converting A2 for advanced D&D, Dungeon Module A2 Secret of the Slavers Stockade by Harold Johnson with Tom Moldvay, an adventure for character levels 4 to 7. And I am busy rewriting it, not like rewriting it like for publishing, but rewriting it for use, because it's kind of a mess. I think this is largely before this is early enough in role-playing situations that they hadn't really come to. I think they were still being paid by the word, I guess. Word count was used to calculate pay. So they would write these kind of huge, gargantuan blocks of text to describe things, and that is not going to work for me because I need to actually run this at the table. So, in our last session yesterday, we got all the way to 30, the Orc Officer Quarters, which is described here. And you give you a good example of kind of what I'm going for here. But basically, these 3 paragraphs or whatever, 2 paragraphs of kind of big text breaks down to, you walk into this room, there's a bed and a table. On the bed, an orc is snoring. And behind the table, a blurry-eyed orc is kind of woozy and like tilting. And then, as the party interacts with the room, I would describe the orc sergeant being drunk. And I think the way he's described here is he's incoherent. So he'll speak to the party in Orcish. I guess maybe I should write that. Only speaks Orcish. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Just trying to cut it down to something I can reference at the table. So let's dive into the next room, shall we? All right. Guest bedroom. This room contains a bed and several folding cots. Sitting at a desk, writing, is a gray-bearded man wearing a drab gray cloak. He looks up as the party opens the door and asks what he can do for them. Okay. This is Estelrath Tancred, a slave merchant. Great. He's currently waiting for his selection of slaves to be prepared for the drive to market and is getting bored with the delay. Beneath his cloak, he wears chainmail and a longsword. He will be willing to listen to the party, believing them to be mercenaries until they prove by ignorance to be otherwise. Then he will waste time until his 2 guards return from the kitchen with the meal he ordered. Astelrath's 2 guards are a pair of cavelings created especially for him by Marquesa, the director of this slaving operation. The 2 cavelings were once elves, but no longer bear any resemblance to that race. They are called Carl and Filch. Gross. And respond only to Estelrath's simple verbal commands. Both have gray scaly hides, which give them 90% chance to hide in shadows naturally. They have large bulbous eyes, infravision 90 feet, and clawed, padded feet, with which they may climb like cats and move silently with an 80% chance of success. Thus, they surprise on a roll of 1 to 5 on D6. I guess it's Kari and Filch. Kari has enlarged hands and a tail with stinger. Save versus poison or start to itch. Characters itching are unable to cast spells and fight a -2. Kari's favorite tactic is to sneak up on a character and trip him or her, okay, with a successful to hit roll at +4, and then sting the character at +4 to hit. Flitch? Is it Filch or Flitch? It's Filch. Has a prehensile, gripping tail and long, thin fingers with which he can pick pockets with a 75% chance of success. Filch also likes to attack from behind at +4 to hit if attacking with surprise. Filch's favorite tactic is to jump on the back of his victims and lock his legs around the character's chest. Then he stabs the character with 2 daggers, one held in each hand, the other in his tail. One held in his hand, the other in his tail. Both Kari and Filch wear loincloths and leather belts, but nothing else. It's a little butt flap. Kari and Filch will return 5 rounds after the party enters the room. If the door is closed, they will listen at the door first. Then they will knock, and Kari will hide beside the door while Filch tries to draw the intruders out of the room. Neither can talk. Estelrath has a leather chest under his bed. In the chest are 600 gold pieces, 20 platinum pieces, and 5 amethysts worth 50 gold pieces each. There are also papers detailing the slave route, and these can be used to lead the party to A3, assault on the area of the slave lords, on the desk where Estelrath was working. In a thin wand... on the desk where Estelrath was working is a thin wand of wood. This is springery, or a wand of opening. When struck against a locked or bound object, the object will be opened, similar to a knock spell. It has 12 charges. Okay. So, there's a bed. Several folding cots. And a desk. At desk is Estelrath, Tancred, slave merchant. I don't think most of this stuff matters. I can put like the other information on his stat block. I intend to link this to a stat block, so which, you know, maybe we'll do that real quick. Maybe we'll just go ahead and add. I have I think at the top here I've got a campaign database, and I've got an NPCs database. So let's go Estelrath, Tancred. He will be a slave merchant. Cool. All right. Waiting in 31 to be, I guess, at Hillfort 31. For his slaves to be prepared. Market. Where's, I think I'm just going to say chainmail. Whoops. Chainmail, longsword. We'll have to throw some Let's see, I want a number. This will be called AC. And the AC for this guy is 14. We're using ascending AC. Move 9. I think I'm not going to put. Maybe what I'll do is just do saves as like. I kind of want it to be like a reference, so I can just look it up. I'll just make it text for now. Let's call it Fighter 5. It's fine. He'll get some HP, and that will be a number. He has 29 hit points. Then attack. Also a number. He gets 1 attack. And we'll go text for damage. And this will be D8. Cool. I think, yeah. Assumes intruders are mercenaries unless proven wrong. It talks a lot about the cavelings. And then I think we're good off of that. So now we can just go back. Go to 31. And we can at Estelrath Tancred. Oh, I typed it wrong. It's Tancred. Now I can go back easily. So cool, convenient. We'll also probably need to add the stuff about these other nerds, but we'll deal with it later. Right now, under bed is a leather chest. And chest contains 600 gold pieces, 20 platinum pieces, 5 amethyst worth 50 gold pieces each. What else we got here? Papers. I guess we'll just say slave route papers lead to a 3. Assault on the harry of the slave lords. And then on desk is a wand of opening. Casts knock. 12 charges. And then we go back to the room level. And we say after 5 rounds here, 2 caveling guards return with food. Hey, mama. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Good to see you. After 5 rounds here, 2 caveling guards return with food. Kari and Filch. And I'm going to detail them in their own stat blocks. They're both pretty crazy little monsters. Yeah, deal with them in their own stat blocks. I think this is fine. For this bedroom, yeah, I think that's good to go. So we move on to room 32. The ogre's quarters. When this door is opened, the party sees an ogre sitting at a table, lovingly polishing a bastard sword. The ogre is dressed in fine black chainmail and wears a black hood with eye holes. Like an executioner's mask. He looks up and smiles, welcoming the new mercenaries, invites them to come in and sit down while he discusses their new duties. There is wine and cheese on the table. This ogre is second in command to Icar, the fort commander. He is called Executioner. Executioner will flip the table over if anyone's on anyone stupid enough to sit down, stunning them for 1 round. He will then attack fallen adventurers at +4 to hit and call for help. Executioner has a special bastard sword given to him by a respectful slave merchant. It has 2 curving hooks on the hilt's crossguard, with which Executioner may attempt to catch his opponent's weapon and disarm them. Executioner needs to make a roll to hit AC 8 in order to catch the weapon and disarm his opponent. Then he will strike with the pommel of the sword for 1d4 points of damage on the same round. Executioner has nothing of value in this room, but over his bed hangs a large composite bow and arrows. Only a character with 18 strength may bend the bow, but it allows the user to add his or her strength bonus to damage caused by arrows firing from this bow. Okay. All right. So I think there is only a table in this. It does say it's his quarters, though. Ogre sitting at a table. Check the map real quick and see if I get any context clues from the map. 32. Yeah, it's just a tiny little baby. Okay. All right. Table, bed. He's gonna have a bed because he needs a bed. Ogre sits at table, and I guess we'll call him Executioner. The ogre sits at table, polishing bastard sword, disarm maneuver. I don't think it matters too much. Like, I think the name Executioner kind of says it all. I don't think we need to explain. I personally am not going to need a reminder of what this guy looks like. We'll try to trick the party into sitting down, pretending to think they are mercs. If tricked, flips table, throwing sitters to the ground, prone. I think I can put the information about who he is in the fort on his stat block. Calls for help. Now, this call for help, I wonder who would hear it, because 30... No, shit, don't go that way. I got to use this other one. Yeah, so 32 is here. So he might get help from 33, servants' quarters. Goblins and kobolds. Interesting. Okay. 31 has the guest bedroom. That's the merchant. He's not going to come help. Officer Orc's quarters are here. And then the Orc barracks are here. So if the party hasn't cleared these out, these might come help if they come up through the top here. I don't even know if they can, though. Yeah, maybe they can. Yeah, maybe not. Actually, yeah, I think about it. I don't think there's a way to, because this... Let's see here. Here's 14, drops into 15 and 17. Down through 19. You can go this way to get into 23 and 24. But yeah, you can't get through this wall here, so you're going through 25 no matter what. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. So you get up here, and yeah. Call for help all you want, bro. What you gonna get? 36 and 39 are the most likely candidates. 36 is Cook's quarters. 39 is Icar's quarters. And then 35 is the kitchen. Shouted command. It's a huge kitchen. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Icar might be in here. So I guess he could hear the ogre calling for help. So maybe I'll put that in my spec for this. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong spot here. Okay, here we go. Calls for help. Icar or orcs may come. Which I'm going to say here, Icar I think is in 35. Orcs would be if they are still around in Orc Barracks 29. And I gotta just comment this actually, because I think also or goblins / kobolds in, was it 33? I think it's 33. Yeah, servants' quarters, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, I might end up deleting that because I'm not sure that the orcs and kobolds and crap. And then I think the last bit is above bed is composite longbow, 18 strength to use plus strength mod to damage plus arrows. I think, does it even say how many arrows? It doesn't, right? Yeah, composite bow and arrows, so we'll just say plus 20 arrows. Should be plenty. All right, sweet. Collapse ogre's quarters. We are on to servants' quarters. There's also stairs up here. I think I'm just going to include in the description here. All right. The sound of laughter and fighting can be heard coming from this room. In this room are a number of goblins and kobolds crowded around an impromptu arena, made by turning a number of bunks on their sides and pushing them together to form a rough square. The goblins and kobolds are watching a match between a halfling, armed with a table leg, and a badger, with its rear legs tied together. Oh my god, it's terrible. The 8 goblins and the 10 kobolds are jeering, drinking beer, and betting on the outcome of the combat. The goblins are guests from the visiting slavers caravan. The kobolds are servants of the hill fort. The goblins are armed with short swords, while the kobolds carry daggers. There's a total of 17 silver pieces and 50 copper pieces in this room. Once the party attacks, if the halfling has not been killed by the badger, 3 kobolds will enter the arena. 2 will move to kill the halfling, and the other will attract the attention of the badger. If the halfling survives, he will grab any weapons at hand and help the party. He knows nothing about the fort. Okay. So we'll just say makeshift arena. Bunks tipped over. Inside of the arena is halfling fighting a badger, legs tied, I guess. 8 goblins and 10 kobolds. So outside of the arena, 8 goblins, 10 kobolds. Goblins are armed with short swords. Kobolds are carrying daggers. Servants of slave caravan. Slavers caravan. Servants of Hillfort. Yeah, I think that's kind of it, except for 17 silver pieces, 50 copper pieces total in that room. Cool. Oh, and then the last thing I need to do here. Here are a flight of stairs leading up to a trapdoor in the ceiling. There's a bolt on this side, but it is open. Still, the trapdoor seems to be locked. Trapdoor seems to be. Floor, trapdoor ceiling. We're in 33, right? I guess it's a fake trapdoor. Oh, no. Okay, wait a minute. Second floor guard tower. So this must be above 33. Look at this map again. It's not even on here, is it? Yeah, it isn't. It's going to be. Oh, geez. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. Go look at this here. That's gatehouse stuff. Okay, yeah. So 34 must go above here. Yeah, I guess that tracks. Okay. Stairs up to trapdoor in ceiling. Bolt open, but locked. To 34. I have to assume this is to 34. Okay. 34. The stairs from the first floor leads up to a trapdoor, which is closed. The trapdoor is bolted shut from the other side. It opens to the second floor, which is one large room. The walls and roof of this room are made of heavy timbers, not stone like the rest of the fort. There are arrow slits in the walls for archers to fire through. Doors in the north wall open to a balcony above the inner courtyard. Okay, this is the balcony to the inner courtyard? Question mark? Oh, okay. Sure. Seems wrong, but okay. Doors in the north wall open to a balcony above the inner courtyard. Number 13. Rows of bunk beds stretch down the middle of the room. There are 2 large barrels filled with water and half dozen wooden buckets for use in putting out fires. The second floor houses a garrison of 20 hobgoblins. Jeez. Armed with short bows and a longsword. 10 of the hobgoblins are currently on guard, 2 at each wall, and 2 of them on the balcony. 2 hobgoblin leaders are also in the room. 1 is asleep. If the party is sighted, the hobgoblins will ring one of the main alarm bells located on the balcony and attack. The hobgoblins carry a total of 9. Okay. I think I know what's going on here. So, man, it's so weird that they do the all the description text is about the fucking stairs, trapdoor closed. Opens to the second floor, which is one large room. Walls and heavy timbers. So timber construction, arrow slits. North wall has, it's like 3 doors to balcony overlooking 13. Rows of bunk beds fill middle room. Large barrels of water and 6 buckets. Second floor. This is a garrison. I guess it's unclear to me if this is supposed to be like a 2-story guard tower. Opens to the second floor, which is one large room. No, yeah, this is the second floor. Second floor. It's fine. So houses a garrison of 20 hobgoblins, armed with shortbow and longsword. 10 of the hobgoblins are currently on guard, which I think means the other 10 are sleeping. 10 hobgoblins on guard. 2 at each wall. 1, 2. That's 4. 2 of them on the balcony. That's 6. Yeah, I don't know. Ring alarm. The hobgoblins carry a total of 9 gold pieces, 12 silver pieces, and 73 copper pieces total. All right, 34. We'll put the map up top. Close that up. And we are on to the kitchen. All right. The kitchen. From beyond the door to this room may be heard laughter. There is also the odor of burning flesh. These doors open inward into the room beyond. As the party opens the door, they hear a shouted command. This room appears to be a huge kitchen, over 50 feet long and wide, and 40 feet tall. About the room are piles of crates and kegs, as well as several tables and cabinets. In the center of the room is a large fire pit, the fire in it licking at the charred head of a giant lizard hanging head down into the fire by a chain from the ceiling. A 6-foot-tall black man in black plate armor is poking and turning the roasting lizard with a two-handed sword. He turns to face the door as the party enters, and you see that his helmet has no eye holes. At a table in the east of the room sit 3 barbaric-looking men, all bristly bearded with coarse red hair. They have mugs of beer in their left hands and smilingly lift hand axes off the tabletop to hurl them at the party. Man, this stuff is... Okay, so this is the fight with Icar. As the hand axes are thrown, the tall black man will shout another command and step behind an enormous wine cask about 30 feet in front of the door. At the same time, 6 hobgoblins who have been hiding behind stacks of kegs and crates to either side of the doorway will stand up and throw their hand axes. Those hand axes thrown by the hobgoblins are at medium range and are at -2 to hit. Those thrown by the wereboars at the table are thrown from long range and are -5 to hit. Immediately after throwing their hand axes, the 3 men, who are actually wereboars in human form, will duck behind the table and change into boars. 1 round later, the wereboars will charge forth. They will move to attack fighters and those characters who talk, presuming them to be the leaders. Okay. The tall black man is Icar, the fort commander. He will kick the legs up from under the cask of wine and send it rolling towards the door. The large cask will cause 1d6 points of damage to those in the path who fail save versus rods to evade it. And all in its path will be stunned for 1 round. Icar will then rush forward and attempt to attack the most formidable fighter. Icar is second in command to Marquesa, the director of the slaver operations, and a battle-trained veteran. Icar is blind and has been from birth, but special training he received while a child at a monastery has made him remarkably sensitive to sound, air pressure variations, and smell, and he is thus able to see better than a sighted man. Due to his heightened senses, he heard the party approach before they opened the door and set the ambush. He is immune to illusion and visual spells. Silence will affect him as darkness affects a normal human, -4 to hit. Because of his ability, Icar can distinguish between Marquesa and her double. Guess we got a double going on. First time I'm hearing about it. Icar wields a 2-handed sword +1, NSA. I don't know what that means. Called Death's Master. He wears a ring of fire resistance and is thus immune to the effects of normal fire and saves at +4 versus magical fire. The ring also subtracts 2 points per die of damage caused by magical fires. If Icar can, he will maneuver his opponents back to the fire pit and then force them into it on a score 4 better than the number needed to strike the opponent. Okay. The fire pit will cost 3 to 18 points of damage per round, 10 points in tournament play. Save versus breath weapon for half damage. As a last defensive measure, he will stand in the fire pit using the lizard for cover and will throw handfuls of flaming grease at the party, treat as flasks of oil. There are 8 hobgoblins in the room. The 6 near the door, after throwing their hand axes, will attack the less formidable-looking characters in the party with swords. 2 remaining hobgoblins will light and throw flasks of oil into the melee from behind cover. They have 3 flasks of oil each. Then they will attack with cleavers, treat as hand axes. Successful hits with the oil will cause 2d6 points of damage the first round and 1d6 points of damage the second round. Characters within 5 feet of thrown oil will take 1d3 points of damage from splashed oil. The room is full of crates, casks, tons, boxes, and barrels of all descriptions. They all contain food and drink of various kinds, mostly somewhat foul by human standards. Besides the 2 tables where the wereboars are sitting and 2 benches each, there is another table near the fire pit. Shelves line the walls and contain more foodstuffs and crude tableware. The only thing of value in the room are the belts that the wereboars wear, each of which is inlaid with gold and worth 150 gold pieces. Icar wears a large set of keys on his belt to the various doors in the fort, but not to his treasure room. Spread out on one of the cupboards and held down by a loaf of bread and a cup of wine is a letter from the slave lords to Icar. The letter is written in a strange raised script that Icar reads by touch. A comprehend languages spell is necessary for anyone to read it. It requests that a group of newly acquired slaves be sent to them for questioning and gives directions which will lead adventurers to A3, assault on the area of the slave lords. Okay, great. Whew. That was a lot, but we got through it together. Thank you. Okay, so I think I'm hearing that there's 2 tables, barrels, crates, tons. A cupboard and a fire pit. I think that's kind of everything. Above the fire pit is a cooked giant lizard. Sitting at a table are 3 wereboars, human form. Piles of crates and kegs, as well as several tables and cabinets. Cupboards, cabinets. In the center of the room is a large fire pit. The fire is licking the charred head of giant lizard hanging down with the fire by a chain. It's fine. All right. I think I might even have Icar already in here. I do. Is here. Face the door. Party enters. Poking the cooked lizard. Prepared. Ambush. Heard the party coming, I guess. This whole bit about them throwing, and then there's like, yeah. Hiding behind the kegs. 6 hobgoblins. It said there were 8 though? 8 hobgoblins in the room, 6 near the door. 2 remaining hobgoblins will light and throw flasks of oil into melee. 2 hobgoblins armed with flasks of oil. I guess these wereboars, which I should probably at wereboar. Wereboar? Let's see here. Only hit by silver or magical weapons. Yeah, these guys are going to be tough. But they have fine belts, I think. So at the table at east end sit 3 barbaric-looking men, all bristly bearded with coarse red hair. Doesn't say anything about the belts. Gold. Figure this out here. The only thing of value in the room are the belts that the wereboars wear, each of which is inlaid with gold. So gold inlaid belts. 150 GP each. And I'll deal with all the, I guess, throw hand axes, then turn to boars to charge. That's not how you spell inlaid. Oh, what I meant to do. Inlaid. Old inlaid belts. That's fine. Throw hand axes and attack weakest looking PC. And yeah, these guys just attack with flasks of oil. That's fine. And then Icar, I'll put his fighting stuff into his stat block. It's cool. It's cool. Oh no, not what I wanted to do. Go back. Okay. All right. 35. The kitchen is done. That's crazy though. Look at that. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bullet points out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess there is this bit here about a letter. Let's put that in. On cupboard is letter in Braille. Comprehend languages. Contains directions to A3 assault area of the slave lords. Okay. Good enough. Good enough for government work. Cook's quarters. This room is looks like a typical bedroom, though slovenly kept. Slovenly bedroom. The cook, a half-orc, will be hiding under the bed. Half-orc cook hiding under bed. If fighting took place. Okay. If fight in 34? I guess. Second floor guard tower. That's weird. How would... I feel like that's supposed to be something else. Whatever. He will attack with a dagger with surprise any character looking under the bed. Okay, that's fine. That's not that interesting. Dagger. Alright. Cook's quarters, done. Wereboar's quarters. This room contains 3 beds. Cool. 3 beds. Short table. 4 stools. The room is filthy and foul-smelling. Bed of straw is in the northwest corner. On the straw is a wild boar, which immediately rises squealing to attack the party. The boar is the pet of the wereboars in room 36. It is normally fed meat. It is very aggressive. There's nothing of value in this room. Gross. All right. Foul-smelling. Straw bed in northwest corner. Boar sleeping here. Rises to attack. Pretty straightforward. 38A, the larder. Oh my god, I'm getting so close. So close to being done with the hill fort, and I get to move into the dungeon. The room is filled with dry goods, smoked meats, canned goods, and other non-perishable foods. It contains no treasure. Okay, the larder contains dried rations. And I'm just going to say it contains an actual amount of dried rations, and the party can figure it out. But they can use it to get some stuff. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? Wrong one. There we go. Okay. 38B, storeroom. This room is filled with shelves containing dirty pots, pans, and dishes. This room is where the humanoids throw their dirty dishes until there are no clean ones left, at which time the wereboars gather up the servants and make sure all the dishes are washed. There is a concealed door behind a set of shelves on the south wall. The door can be found by moving one of the shelf sections, which swings out. This door leads to stairs, which go down to the dungeon level. Okay. This is the one way to get to the dungeon level. Insane. Absolutely wild. Okay. So, I guess just shelves of dirty pots and dishes. Easy enough. Concealed door behind. Was it south? Concealed door behind the south wall. So actually, usually I put the direction. So south wall, concealed door behind shelves, leads to dungeon level. And let's just see which area of the dungeon level. Where one. Okay. It must be here. Okay. So I can just put leading to 2 or whatever. Leads to that area there. Okay, cool. That's groovy. And then Icar's quarters. This room appears to be someone's quarters. There is a simple bed in the northwest corner and small circular table with 2 chairs. Let's just knock these out while I'm here. Bed. Small table. Two chairs. On table is a bottle of wine and a chessboard. And a cheese board. Chessboard. At the foot of the bed is a carved wooden chest. Carved wooden chest. At foot of bed. The chest has been carved to depict a battle scene in high relief. Hanging on the wall is a shield, a leather cloak, a shirt, a mandolin, and a skald's field harp. On the bed is a fur covering. There's a door in the south end of the room with a big lock on it. I'm going to say... Actually, just look at it real quick. Here? South room. Okay. Yeah. South wall has door. With big lock. Fine. Carved wooden chest at foot of bed. Man, this is kind of wild. The on wall. Shield. Leather cloak. Shirt. Mandolin. Skald's field harp. On bed is fur covering, I guess. All right. South wall has door with big lock. All right. The door in the south wall leads to a 10-foot square closet where a Medusa is kept prisoner guarding Icar's treasure. Big lock. Leads to 10-foot by 10-foot closet. Medusa! Which I think I can just say at Medusa. Oh, that's fine. Skip prisoner guarding Icar's treasure. Above the door on the lintel is hidden the key to the door. Medusa is terrified of Icar because he is invulnerable to her major power, and she knows that he has access to a periaptive proof against poison. From room 17. The Medusa is chained to the wall and will guard Icar's treasure with her life. Medusa chained to wall will guard treasure with her life. Yes. If the party tries the closet door, she will cry out in anger. Oh, I see. Okay. Key on lintel. This is Icar's quarters. None of the items on the wall are of any value, and the shield is missing its arm strap. The wine is of good quality. The chessboard has a raised grid pattern so that it may be felt by Icar. The chest is filled with clothing, neither rich nor well cared for. The fur on the bed is worth 18 gold pieces. Fine. If the party attempts to move the furniture, they'll discover that it is bolted to the floor with the exception of the bed. This is so Icar knows where everything is. Underneath the bed is a trapdoor bolted on this side. The dungeon... Okay. A trapdoor leads to the dungeon complex below. Okay, so this is... interesting. All furniture bolted to floor, except bed. Under bed is bolted trapdoor that leads to dungeon level. And then where on the dungeon level does it lead? Is the question. Maybe it leads to 20? I have a feeling it's not going to make any goddamn sense. Oh no, I was totally right. Icar's entranceway. In the center of the ceiling of this small room is a shaft opening. An iron ladder leads to the floor of the room, up into the shaft, and bolted to the shaft wall. Cool. All right, we got 2 entrances to the dungeon level. Perfect. That's wonderful. Key to the dungeon. Stuff about the dungeon level. Okay, cool. All right, so party attempts. Change with her life. Dungeon level 20. Great. Icar knows where everything is. Okay. Icar's treasure is in an iron chest cemented into the floor. Iron chest cemented into floor. The treasure is 2,000 GP, 10 jet, worth 100 GP each. 10 silver, black opal bracelets. I usually just do this. 200 GP each. In the chest is a locked, hammered brass coffer. Locked, hammered brass coffer. The coffer has a very intricate lock, and a thief's chance to open it is at minus 15. So we'll go minus 15% open lock. A potion of undead control, a potion of diminution, a clerical scroll with windwalk, cure light wounds, feign death, cure serious wounds, purify food and drink, resurrection, a ring of warmth, and a qualls feather token. That's what's in there. Okay. So, geez. Potion of undead control. Potion of diminution. Cure serious wounds. I think these are... Oh. I see. Clericals. You know what? I'm actually going to put these on different lines. I'm just going to end up pasting this over to my party anyway. Clerical scroll. This contains Windwalk, Cure light wounds, Feign death, Cure serious wounds, purify food and drink, and resurrection. Okay. Ring of warmth. Qualls. Feather token. I'll have to look that up. I don't know what that is. All right, there's a parchment covered with strange raised lettering inside the chest. A comprehend languages spell will reveal that the parchment gives directions about the specialist quarters, area 25 in the dungeon, and details where the secret doors to the treasure room are located, where the remainder of Icar's treasure is located. The treasure contains 5,000 gold pieces, 1 uncut ruby worth... I'm confused. Stones are cut by a jeweler. Value increased by 4 times. There's also a potion of oil of etherealness and a clerical scroll of atonement. So this is talking about room 25 in the dungeon. So let me go room 25 in the dungeon. Specialist quarters. This area houses the various specialists Marquesa employs to help. There's 2 goblins stand guard outside the main door to this area. Oh, I see. Okay, engineer's quarters. So 25 is like a bunch of different stuff. Blackthorn's quarters. And then treasure room. Did they duplicate this? I'm super confused. Yeah, I'm super confused about this. No, this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. 5,000 gold pieces. Potion of oil of etherealness. That's got to be it, right? Case 6. 6 large chests, 2 metal. I'm gonna put that information, if that information is relevant, I'm gonna put that information where it's relevant. Because like this is slightly different. 8 uncut sapphires. No, this has gotta be it. This has gotta be it. This is the same one. That's the treasure. Okay. So also in this chest, parchment with directions to chest 6 in, I think it's like, what was it? Dungeon level. Man, imagine trying to run this from the physical book. Woof. Specialist quarters. I think we're in treasure room, so 25G. Parchment with directions to chest in dungeon level 25G. And it's like, I think it's chest 6. Yeah, this is it right here. Explains. I guess it just explains this whole level, so specialists quarters. This is also in Braille. I'm gonna assume it requires comprehend languages again. Doesn't say that, but yeah, I mean, kind of have to assume that that's still required. Yeah. All right, cool. Look one more time here. Yeah, all that stuff is fine. All that stuff is fine. Okay, cool. We did it. We beat the we got the whole upper level is now prepped. So I can run probably a few sessions of this adventure. I don't think anybody's going to get to those. There's only 2 ways into the basement, and both of them are pretty much at the end of this fort section. So the hill fort, I'm going to call it done. Except I'm still going to go back and do stat blocks. But I think that's pretty solid progress for the night. And then, yeah, keep coming back if you're interested. My plan is to do basically 10 rooms a night until this is done. So, yeah, hopefully it'll only take me until next Saturday. Is that right? Yeah, next Saturday. We'll see. That's how many rooms I counted it last night. So if I do 10 rooms a day, which takes me about an hour so far, so I think we're looking at like 70 hours. No, 7 hours. That'd be crazy, 70 hours. 7 hours of prep for the basement. Well, I guess today's Friday, so yeah, it'd be like 7 or 8 hours just to do the dungeon. I don't even know how many hours so far I've spent on Hill 4. I know I've streamed 3 at this point, and I've definitely done more than that. So, pretty crazy the amount of work you got to put in to get one of these things into a runnable state. I'm sure I could run it from the book, but it would be painful. So painful. So much pain. So, thanks for hanging out. If you like Watch Your DM stuff, you should go, I don't know, click bells and do things with thumbs up them, I guess. But actually, if you do really, really want to help me out, you should go join my Patreon. I think we've got like a really low cost tier, and I'm dropping some play test material for some new adventures we're doing for 5e. So Privatized Little Hell is on there right now. Memento Bombix Mori is coming. The playtest material, I was just square with you. It's just like a PDF export of the text from the Notion document. So like how we organize our work is in Notion. And so it's like a lot of just the writing and stuff. It's well organized, I think, but just set expectations. I want you to think like, oh, I'm getting a great pre-launch of it. It's not. We're still working layout stuff. We've got a bunch of art orders still out. So, but the Kickstarter is coming. End of July, we are launching the Kickstarter for Privatized Little Hell, come hell or high water. And so we'd love to see you there. You should go join that if you can. Whatever. You've heard me ramble now enough. Go to watcherdm.com, sign up for the mailing list. Be a great person. Most important part. I'll see you later.